Notes on The Rape of the Lock by Alexander Pope. Essay question: discuss The Rape of the Lock as a mock epic poem. Answer: Alexander Pope was the greatest English poet between Dryden and Wordsworth. He dominated 18th century poetry like a colossus. Despite terrible handicaps, he was able to become England's greatest living poet at the age of 25. In a way, he was the writer who determined the poetic fashion. When someone asked, "Is Pope a poet?" Dr. Johnson's reply was, "If Pope be not a poet, where is poetry to be found?" In his own time, Pope was the wicked wasp of Twickenham. He sat in the grotto and attacked almost everyone. In his poem, The Dunciad, he described all other living writers as dunces. He developed personal satire into a fine art. If he wrote anything without a trace of malice, it was The Rape of the Lock. He wrote it at the request of John Caryll, a personal friend. The idea was to make two warring families forget their feud in an outburst of laughter. The event immortalized by Pope was the cutting off a lock of hair by the impetuous youth called Robert Peter. The lock of hair was cut from the nape of a ravishing beauty named Arabella Fermor. The youth's action was the result of frustration in love. This trivial act is presented by Pope in high epic style. The mock epic technique is that of using a hammer to kill a fly. Another aspect of the same technique is mixing of the sublime with the ridiculous. The sudden fall from the sublime to the ridiculous naturally produces bathos. The presentation of the story is in close imitation of that in Homer's Iliad. Pope, it must be remembered, had just completed the translation of Homer's Iliad. Pope uses a special machinery in his lengthy poem. There are spirits belonging to the four elements introduced as active participants in the human drama. There are detailed descriptions of these spirits and their varied activities. Addison actually suggested dropping the machinery from the poem. The result was a scathing attack on Addison in the later poem, an epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot. The poem opens with the sylph Ariel appearing in Belinda's dream to administer a warning. Ariel is convinced of a grave danger threatening the lady during the day. Ariel also puts other sylphs on special duty to protect every inch of Belinda's body. Belinda's toilet is described in classical style. The room is described as containing treasures from every corner of the world. There is one casket containing India's glowing gems and another containing the blended perfumes of Arabia. Among the items lying around are Bibles and billet doors. The next section shows Belinda in all her romantic splendor. She is described as nourishing two locks for the destruction of mankind. The description of Belinda's visit to Hampton Court is also in typical mock heroic style. Hampton Court is a center of aristocratic recreation and gossip. At every word, a reputation dies. The game of Ombre also comes in for a very detailed description. It is the defeat in this game that sparks off the youth's spirit of revenge. The raping of the lock follows, and Belinda's tears appear endless. As in epic poetry, there are many digressions in Pope's poem. We have already mentioned Ariel's speech to Belinda in her dream. The reference to heavenly portents is another epic device to provide dignity to the theme. The use of epic similes is also there in plenty. Critics have referred to the craftsmanship of a watchmaker in Pope's great poem. The poem has been hailed as one of the permanent achievements of English poetry. There is a general complaint that Pope lacked Dryden's sense of humor. Every line of The Rape of the Lock establishes the hollowness of the complaint. In The Rape of the Lock, Pope confronts Dryden in the latter's own ground and emerges with flying colors. For more videos related to English language, literature, grammar, phonetics, etc., please subscribe to this channel, English Teacher, and also read the English learning magazine, English Teacher.